think it covers a lot of ground if you live in a rural area. Do you guys know what a hold is? If I say I had a hold? When artists are recording in Nashville, they start sifting through songs pretty early. They listen to, I know Jason Aldean's producer said he listens to about 3,000 songs a week, I think is what he said, which is kind of insane. He has an assistant and she listens and tries to pull, so sometimes you got to get through the assistant to get to the producer. Sometimes you're getting through the A&R people to get to the assistant, to get to the producer. And so if it's been put on hold, it means they're strongly considering putting it on the album. And they would prefer it. There's a real vague legal sort of thing happening when they put it on hold. It's sort of an honor system still. You're not supposed to be out pitching that song to other artists. They don't want you to do that. But then some of them put it on hold because they don't want you to go pitch it to another artist. It doesn't mean they're going to record it. They just
don't want anybody else to get it.
They don't want anybody else to get it, but their mind's not made up, sort of thing. So a lot of publishers still quietly continue, but they will tell whoever they're pitching the song to and say, this is on hold for them right now, but we don't know. So if you want it, you can have the next hold. So they basically develop a waiting list for the song. So I'm telling you, this song has been on hold twice for 2 different Montgomery Gentry albums, and it didn't make either damn album. So I don't know if they just didn't want anybody else to have it, or just it got it outdone by whatever ended up on the album or what. But they even asked for the lyric sheet at one point. So it meant they were in the studio ready to cut it, and I've never heard a version of it. So I never heard a demo version either from them, so it didn't go anywhere.
But they can get cut. Like Patty Loveless cut a song of mine, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited, and then you didn't make the record.
Yeah, and then what you have there is a really cool demo with Patty Loveless singing your song.
What you got there is a broken heart.
What you have is no money.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wrote this song a while back, honestly, and it's kind of a patriotic song, and it was before all the patriotic songs, because it was before 9/11 that I wrote this song. And I wrote it because my dad's a Vietnam vet, and we were a military patriotic family. And so I wrote it the way I wrote it because of that. And I remember taking it in to who was going to be my publisher at that point. I didn't end up signing with him, and he said, I sure wish you hadn't written it that way. I wish it wasn't so patriotic. And I said, well, that's who I am, and that's who my family is, and that's what this song's about, so I'm not going to change that. And sure enough, for the next, 15 years, 10 years anyway, everything else has been a patriotic song, so he missed the mark on that one. So don't believe everything even the executives in Nashville tell you. Don't always believe it.
I think when you leave the room if you've written a really great song, and if it's good in your heart. That's how I feel anyway. I mean, if I've written a good song in my heart, I kind of don't really. I'd love to have millions and millions of dollars, but I also want to be proud of what I write, and say, I wrote this, and hold my head high.
Well, and the culture changes, and trends change, and so that day, he may not like that song, and you may bring it to him a year later to that date, and I have friends that have those stories, taking the same song to the same guy. First year he hated the song, second year he thought it was the best song on earth. So it may just be that the trend needs to change, or his ears need to change over the course of a year. You just never know. But you also have to know who you're dealing with and pull from their criticism and their advice what you need to pull, if that makes sense. Sometimes they're spot on, and you do need to do. That's not good. All right. And God.